don't see no homeless people. I mean, I came all the way through the southeast side, all the way down here. You can see now I'm at the White House jump, man. It's quiet, yeah. It's a shame that it takes somebody to have to sit in your classroom in order for you to be in order, yeah. Because that's what it feels like, yeah. You gotta be babysitter to do your job, yeah. Stuff been out of control for years. You gotta do better, yeah. You gotta do better, yeah. And mainly, young, you got the problems. It's us, man. It's always us giving everybody a bad name, yeah. We'll see how long this lasts, yeah. How many murders was it last night? How many carjackings was it last night? Talk to me. And y'all keep on posting all these data numbers and things of that nature that y'all see everybody else reposting. The stuff that came from the Metropolitan Police Department and the mayor, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something. You can't be that stupid. You can't be, man. Who enters that information to get that data analysis, yeah? People do. You can enter whatever numbers you want to make whatever report show what, but you can't hide the crime, young. You can't do it. Let me give you something to break it down to you for those that don't understand. I retired from UPS, right? So what they used to do to play with the numbers or whatever, we have mission packages. You'll have drivers over the hours. They'd go in and enter the information and the report would show whatever they needed to show to keep their bonus that week for their bosses not to fire their ass. So stop believing that stuff. And I don't know if you ever had to deal with the DC government, young, but they suck, young. They have got a lot more better now that the officers have did what they had to do and got all of these people out of the government and got rid of the riffraff and things of that nature. People actually do work now. Let me give you this for example, right? You got carry and conceals or whatever that were being issued by the DC separate department that was handling the gun licensing and things of that nature. They went from turnaround time for like 4 months. 5 months for you to have to get a gun registered in DC and get a carry and conceal to 2 weeks. It used to take you 3 months just to get an appointment to talk to somebody and take your information and your gun down there. Now, you go online right now and they got appointments available tomorrow. How does that happen? What changed? You put some fire under their asses and now they want to do some work.
I watched that video by that brother the other day and I really didn't know what I wanted to say. And even right now, I'm trying to make sure that I reserve my comments for the right type of people and have the right type of energy for the right type of people. This is a black man. This is a brother. You know, and I don't want to keep going on dudes. It seems like I'm saying that every time that I have a issue to address for certain things that it seems like, you know, I'm upset or I'm emotional. I just want to point out a couple things with this brother. I seen that this brother kept saying or using words like young and old DC slang, but judging from the couple gray hairs that he has in his beard and some of the things that he referred to, going back to that, I believe that he may have been born in DC, may be a DC native, but he gives me the vibe of one of the black people from the DC area that he said he retired from UPS, so he's had a job. He reminds me of the black people from the DC area that moved to places like Waldorf and Akankee and Bowie. They move out and they get away. You know, evidently, he said he don't smell no weed. I never understand why that's a major issue for people. I bet you he drinks liquor or alcohol. You know what I mean? Most people that works and go out to eat and, you know, has a rest and relaxation to do that. But none of that is neither here nor there. None of that's my business. I don't understand why that was such a major issue. But let me address this for black people like this brother right here. I want to ask a question to black people like this brother right here. What has Trump technically done with all the police that came into DC? Sidebar, I truly believe that all this police presence, this law enforcement presence that's coming to the city under this disguise of what's called a takeover, I believe it's for immigration. Out of 300, 400 some arrests, Almost half of them were for immigration. This dude here saying there wasn't no murders last night, there wasn't no carjackings last night. I bet you he's not even a DC resident. I bet you he's one of the DC residents that threw his hands up in the air. If he was ever a DC resident, his sound, his lingo and his tone and his accent sound like he was. But I'm willing to bet he's a Maryland resident. I'm willing to bet he pays taxes in Maryland. I'm not sure. However, I could be wrong because he mentioned something about what it takes to get your gun. So I'm neither here nor there. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing from the things that he spoke on. But if he's really a DC resident, right, and he's speaking about the Trump takeover and he's applauding it, he can't be a DC resident that's cognizant of what home rule is. He can't be a DC resident that understands that the gun rights in the District of Columbia are local laws. They're not federal laws. So while he's speaking on, oh, Trump coming and taking over, I bet you he has no understanding or no idea of what home rule is, home rule of 1973. I bet you he has no understanding of what type of powers of autonomy it gives to the District of Columbia. I bet you he don't understand or know when residents of the District of Columbia got the right to vote. So while he running around sounding like a big ass sucker to me, talking about it ain't no carjacking, it ain't no murders. He ain't mentioned what they will be taken away to do that. They ain't stopped no carjackings or no murders since they been here. This is the last point I want to make. To just make DC safe again, sending in almost 1,000 troops from other states, and some of those states are racist, sending in all these police officers, many of them coming from New York City and New England, right? What did they stop? 2 kids got shot in Southeast on their first days out of school. So while he's sitting around sounding like somebody that's suffering from post-plantation psychosis or some form of black hatred, like the way he speaks about black people in DC and running and this and this and that, and oh my God, he probably grew up with one of them pictures of the white Jesus on his wall when he was a kid. But nevertheless, he ain't speak nothing about home rule. He don't understand nothing about city council. He gonna sit up here and make a complaint about took 3 months to get your gun license and now they do it in a day, as if he's giving that credit to Trump. Clearly, he don't know when they took gun rights away from the district residents. Clearly, he don't know that it took a white man and a bunch of other people from a class action lawsuit that moved here from other people from other places in the United States that knew their gun rights. Look up the Keller decision for the guns, why they gave people their gun rights back. I can't stand ignorant black people that act like they representing for the conscious-minded black people, middle class and up, that may not be of the criminal element. Bruh, say something that makes sense. Explain anything about home rule of 1973. Explain anything about Nixon signing it. Explain anything about the residents of the District of Columbia having taxation without representation. Don't sit up here and talk to me about you came down Pennsylvania Avenue, it don't smell like weed, and oh my God, let's give Trump a body massage because he brought thousands and thousands of new extra troops and law enforcement into the city. That shit don't make no sense. Say something about home rule 1973. Say something about what you have been doing to help the community. Other than that, man, take your ass back to UPS. Nigga, please, you work for UPS.